out the barrel. Run at the barrel for these guys. They don't know what they're doing, but I have to do one on the Brewers. So, this is the most recent what if. It's the 2018 Milwaukee Brewers. Now, I couldn't really find any good Milwaukee Brewers teams to do a what if about. My thinking was 1981 when they had a chance to take down the Yankees in the American League East Series that would face the Oakland Athletics in 1981. I could have done that. And then whoever won would take on the Dodgers. I could have done that. But there was a much better Milwaukee team that deserved my acclamation, and that is the current, the 2018 Milwaukee Brewers. Now, to explain about the Brewers, they were actually not called the Milwaukee Brewers when they first came in the league. Oh no, in 1969, the Seattle Pilots somehow got a franchise. It was just a thanks for carrying out the Pacific Coast League thing for Seattle. Unfortunately, the Pacific Northwest were not really welcome to baseball. Six Stadium, SICKS, Stadium, actually was not finished in time for the major leagues. Basically, it was just like Jerry Park from Montreal. The Expos had problems with their stadium too. But anyway, the Pilots only lasted one season, and then just 12 days before the season started, they got shipped to Milwaukee, where Bud Selig bought them and transplanted them as the Milwaukee Brewers. Seattle would get a team 8 years later as a mea culpa from the league. But the Brewers in the 70s were not that good. Hank Aaron actually ended up playing for the Brewers for 2 seasons. It's hard to believe that Hank Aaron was not a career Brave. He played 2 years for the Milwaukee Brewers, mostly as a designated hitter because, the AL had the DL rule. So anyway, the not Toronto Blue Jays, whatever. The Brewers had Hank Aaron. He had 22 home runs for them. Another known fact. So anyway, the Brewers actually had a better course of action. But in 1981, they caved through. They were crowned second half champions of the AL East. And of course, with that split season format, they would play the Yankees best of 5 LDS. Basically, whoever won that series would take on the AL West champion. That was the Oakland Athletics. The Brewers lost the first few games on home turf, and then they went to New York, won games 3 and 4, and could have won game 5, but Dave Righetti with his blazing fastball saved the day, and the Yankees went on to the ALCS and then the World Series. But the next year, Milwaukee didn't quit. The team basically was known as the Harvey's Wallbangers, as Harvey Kuhn made sure they were home run powers. Cecil Cooper, Ben Oglivie, Gorman Thomas, even Paul Muller and Robin Yount ever so presently hit home runs. The Brewers had a decent pitching staff, including original Blue Jay Pete Vukovich, who ended up winning the Cy Young that year. So anyway, the Brewers shocked everyone by winning the LCS in '82, mostly because the California Angels choked it away. The Angels were one win away from going to the World Series, but choked to the Brewers. Although devil's advocate is that the Brewers won all 3 games. Brewers won were on home turf. So anyway, the Brewers played the Cardinals in what was called the Suds series because they both were known for their breweries. Milwaukee for Miller and St. Louis for Anheuser-Busch. Milwaukee actually made a few big moves, especially Paul Molitor in Game 1 getting 5 big singles or something like that. He got 5 hits, the most in a World Series game in a long time. Unfortunately for the Brewers, they ended up losing the series in 7 to the St. Louis Cardinals. But hey, they tried. Milwaukee was pressing. 1987 should have been their year to do well. They started off 9-0, 13-0 or something like that. Something like 9-0, I know that. And that winning streak included a Teddy Higuera no-hitter against the Orioles and a Easter Sunday epic that got the Brewers to 13-0 or something like that. The Brewers squandered their division, and that went to the Tigers. The Brewers actually were mid-pack until the 92 season when they somehow came alive. Robin Yount's 3,000th hit helped them. Jim Gallagher hitting home runs, which he rarely did. And a young core of pitchers that included Chris Bosio and Cal Eldred and Bill Wegman. So anyway, the Brewers actually were chasing the Blue Jays for the AL East. That's the shocking part. No Boston, no New York, but Milwaukee and Baltimore to that fact in '92. Unfortunately for the Brewers, they ran out of time and the Blue Jays won the division. Not by a lot, but only by like 2 games. Because the Blue Jays had to win on the second last day of the season to win the division. Brewers unfortunately suffered a big nosedive, mostly after Paul Molitor decided to leave the Brewers and join the world champion Toronto Blue Jays. Bud Selig said it was one of his biggest regrets not getting Molitor to stay in Milwaukee. Molitor would help the Blue Jays win the 93 World Series. The Brewers in 1988 decided to move to the National League because with the new expansion of Tampa and Arizona, they didn't want 2 leagues of 15. They wanted 1 league of 14, 1 of 16. So the Brewers decided to make the jump from the American League to the National League. Rumors were it was Kansas City. But anyway, Milwaukee was the team that stayed in the NL Central throughout everything. All that. The NL Central will go from 6 to 5 teams in 2013 when the Astros decided to join the American League and make it 2 leagues of 15. And baseball was okay with interleague matchups. So anyway, the Milwaukee Brewers didn't really get much of a playoff push. 2008, they got CC Sabathia, but unfortunately the Brewers fell flat in the LCS to the Philadelphia Phillies, who then went on to win the World Series against the Tampa Bay Rays. So anyway, Brewers tried a couple times, but 2018 was their time. They shocked everyone by playing the 1-game Central Division tiebreak against the Cubs in Chicago. The winner got to not only win the division, but they got to host the NLDS as a 1 seed. Brewers came up clutch against the Cubs and won 3-1. Brewers came up clutch against Colorado in the NLDS. Thank you, Mike Moustakas. And then the Brewers played a tight 7-game series against the Dodgers in the NLCS. But unfortunately, it went for shit. And Clinton Kershaw got the final strikeout. But Christian Yelich, his first year with the Brewers, he actually had an MVP season. And sadly, at the time of this taping, September 18, 2019, Yelich is out for the year with an injury. So thus he might have had a chance to win 2 straight MVPs, but it failed. So basic what if, of course, you know, the Brewers are in the World Series against the Boston Red Sox in 2018. Boston, of course, using their pitching rotation for the whole series. And of course, the Brewers using a makeshift one. Just remember that Boston had home field in the 2018 World Series, so thus they'll have home field for 2018. Let's see if this works. So we got the Brewers, we got the Red Sox. 108 versus 96 wins. Brewers start Gianna Chassin. Boston uses Chris Sale to start because they had Chris Sale on the mound in game 1. And it didn't work. Brewers did charge, but unfortunately it was a 6-5 final. As Mookie Betts gets an RBI double with score Benintendi, and Chassin throws a wild pitch. 2-0 for the longest time until the top of the 7th. Brewers only had 3 hits, but they had a few hits. In the 7th, Eric Thames singled to right, score Jesus Aguilar 2-1. But in the 7th, Mitch Moreland hits a home run to right field, and Sander Bogaerts, with an RBI single to score Mookie Betts 4-1. In the 8th, Andrew Benintendi hit a fielder's choice to score a run, and Mitch Moreland gets a triple to score Benintendi 6-1. But the Brewers didn't die off. Yelich struck out. Aguilar got a single. Shaw took ball 4. Eric Thames swings and misses. All the Brewers have to do is avoid that last out. Ryan Braun walks, and then Manny Pena hits a grand slam to center field. I believe the center fielder made it 6-5, but Orlando Arcia grounded out for the final out. Yeah, Manny Pena, the catcher, with that grand slam. Chassin lost with 6 innings of work. Jeffers, Williams, and Gio Gonzalez. The Red Sox, you see there, RBIs by Benintendi, Moreland, Betts, and Bogaerts. Chris Sale with the win. Hembry, Joe Kelly gave up those runs late, and then Kimbrough had to come in for the save in the 9th inning. So, Chris Sale, and if memory serves me correctly, David Price started game 2. And the Brew Crew went with Chase Anderson for game 2. Not really much of a pitching rotation for Milwaukee. And the Red Sox are halfway home with a 6-1 win. First inning, Mookie Betts double to score Mitch Moreland. Bogaerts with an RBI single to score Betts, and then Javier Devers into a fielder's choice. 3-0 scored. Jonathan Villar, the sumo butt slide. He got a double. Or Arcia scored 3-1. Rafael Devers with an RBI single score Moreland. So at 4-1, Christian Vasquez and 2 RBIs scored Martinez and Devers. And that was pretty much it. 4 hits for the Brewers. Villar with the only RBI. Chase Anderson, 4 innings without anything. Freddie Peralta stunk it up. Gio Gonzalez, the 3rd of inning. So yeah, 2 RBIs by Devers and Vasquez. David Price, 7 innings. Hembree and Kelly, an inning. I know you probably think, what about Steve Pearce? Well, I guess, remember, they don't take injuries into account for anything. So Boston switches it up. Wayne Miley will pitch game 3, and I believe it was Porcello, if memory serves me right. Yeah, Porcello for game 3. So Rick Porcello comes in. See there the kind of changes both teams had to make. And the Brew Crew actually do win game 3 at home. Thank goodness for that, from their point of view. Aguilar did get a ground ball double play to make it 1-0. Lorenzo Cain gets a single to score Eric Tams. And then Pena comes in on the throw home. Benintendi does not get him. 3-0. Tams hits the fielder's choice to make it 4-0. On in the top of the ninth. Even though Vasquez flew out center. Pierce with an RBI single. With a single. Benintendi comes in with a single. And then Mitch Moreland comes in with a 3-run home run to make it 4-3. Are you nuts? Guess so. Betts walks. Bogarts struck out and steals second, but Rafael Devers fouls it up. So as you can see here, all these things happen. Moreland with the only RBIs for Boston. Porcello loses with 6 innings of work. Hembree and Kelly, the 2018 Brewers. Kane and Thames with RBIs. Miley with the win. Jeffers, Williams, Corey Knebel with the save. I thought it would have been Josh Hader. So Boston wants to go with a 4-man rotation, Nathan Eovaldi, which means Milwaukee has to go with a 4-man rotation, and they picked Junior Guerra to help them. And it didn't work. Boston with a 5-0 win. Mookie Betts 2-run shot to left. Rafael Devers with an RBI double for Bogarts, 2-0. 3-0, excuse. And then in the top of the 5th, Devers gets a double to score Betts, and Jackie Bradley Jr. RBI single 5-0. So it looks like it's curtains for Milwaukee, and pretty much it was 6 hits for the Brewers, nothing working out. Betts with pair RBIs, Devers for 2, Bradley Jr. 1. Eovaldi went 6 innings. Hembree and Kelly did their jobs. The Brew Crew, 2 hits from Aguilar and Cain, but that was not enough. Guerra, 5 innings. Gio Gonzalez did pretty well, of 4 innings of 1-hit relief. So now Boston just can smell it. Chris Sale versus Chassin, easy peasy lemon freaking squeezy. But the series isn't over yet. Milwaukee wins 7-1 to force a game 6. Christian Yelich gets a sac fly, and then Jesus Aguilar home run, make it 3-0. But the Red Sox come back. Jackie Bradley Jr. with that home run down the right field line. One of only 3 Boston hits to make it 3-1. But Eric Thames in the bottom of the 3rd with the home run, make it 5-1. Arcia crushed one, make it 6-1. And was that the final score? No. Aguilar with another home run, 7-1. Boston only had 3 hits. Moreland, Betts, and JBJ. With the hits, Sale 6 innings and lost. Brazier and Workman came in. The Brew Crew, 2 home runs from Jesus Aguilar. Good job. Chassin went 8 innings. Gio Gonzalez again showing up. So now switch to Boston. And it is going to be Chase Anderson against Rick Porcello. No, sorry, David Price. Will Boston win on home turf? No. Are you serious? They lose 10-8 in game 6. Mookie Betts hits a 2-run shot to make it 2-0. Then Aguilar, another home run. His 3rd in 2 days. Then Ryan Braun hits a home run down the left field line. Braun's in as a DH. 2-2 for the longest time until the 5th when Arcia hits a home run and Yelich hits a home run. Christian Vasquez, home run 4-4. So all 8 runs have come via the home run. But JD Martinez gets an RBI single to make it 5-4. Benintendi hits a triple to make it 6-4 after 6. It looks good for the Red Sox. Yelich hits an RBI double to score Lorenzo Cain 6-5. And then JD Martinez makes it 8-5. Boston. But trouble for the Bull Sox. Pena hits a double to score Ryan Braun. Christian Yelich then comes in with a grand slam to left field. That's the MVP, 10-8. The Red Sox got in second, but nothing doing. So the Brewers forced Game 7. Are you nuts? Yelich, 6 RBIs. He's come out of it. Chase Anderson, 5 innings, didn't get anything. Jeffries, Williams, Josh Hader was the guy with the winner. With the win, able to save. Boston Red Sox. Can you believe it? JD Martinez, 3 RBIs, and they fouled it. David Price didn't do that. Hembry was the one who basically fucked it all up. Joe Kelly blew the save. Matt Barnes came in. So it's 3-3. Boston has to go with Porcello. Milwaukee goes with Wade Miley. Game 7. Christian Yelich, ground ball. Game will score 1-0. Bottom of the first, here comes Betts to pitch. Betts will bounce down for a double. Benintendi is coming across. He ties 1-1. Bottom of the third, here's Betts, ground ball. 4-6. They can't get the other guy. Benintendi scores. And it's 2-1 Boston. Here goes Pena. 2-1. Pena to the corner. He'll bounce. Base hit. Thames is in. Braun is in. 3-2 Brewers. Bottom of the ninth. Boston's in deep trouble. Runners on first and second. Here comes Nunez. The pitch. Nunez. Base hit. Here comes Bogarts. He scores. Bradley Jr. is a third. And the Bo Sox at the winning run 90 feet away. The pitch. Vasquez. Winkley grounds out second to first. We're going extra innings. Yelich strikes out. And now Aguilar, the 2-1. Jesus hits one deep to left center. Oh my God. Go on. Say goodbye. That one. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Wow. 4-3. Runner on first and third after JD Martinez. Kinsler will run for Martinez. Here comes Bogarts. The 2-1. Bogarts. This will fly out. Braun under it. The Brew Crew are your 2018 World Champions. They come back from 3-1 down to sink the Red Sox. Amazing job. What a job by the Milwaukee Brewers. Miley, Jeffers, Knable, Taylor Williams is the guy who will get the save. Knable blew the save, but who cares? Boston, can you believe it? Betts 2 RBIs, Nunez with 1. Porcello, Hembry, Kelly, Matt Barnes is your GOAT. And by the way, this is the first time that an NL Central team actually won their thingy. Can you believe it? That is actually true. The Cubs, the Reds, the Cardinals, and the Pirates all lost their what-ifs. The Cubs lost the what-if. They were in the 2003 World Series. The Reds lost what-if. They actually went to the 81 NLCS and actually tried to go for the World Series. The Cardinals, their what-if of being in the 96 World Series against the Yankees, and the Pirates being in the 92 World Series against the Blue Jays. They all fell. But the Brewers at least give some sensibility. And the fact is all 6 divisions at least have one winner that for their what-if. And that's the 10th time against 17 failures that this what-if happened.